Let's understand another topic, that is thin lenses in contact with each other. Here we will take two or more than two lenses and make contact with each other to get rid of the defects produced by the lenses. If we use a single lens, then the defects like chromatic aberrations and spherical aberrations occurs. Because of that, the colored and blurred image is produced after refraction by the lens. So to remove these defects, we use two or more than two lenses in contact, and the lenses which we take are the thin lenses. Thin lenses have more radius of curvature, that is, it is more curved and less thick. And here we are using two lenses to get sharp and bright image. We take combinations of the lenses to get sharp and bright images, and here let us consider the two lenses, and we know that when the object is placed in a rarer medium, then after refraction the ray will bend towards the normal, and as here we are considering that this distance is negligible between the two lenses, so the ray will go undeviated at this part, in this part, and will bend towards the normal. And if suppose this lens is not present, so the ray will go in this manner and will meet at a point on principal axis, will give image let I1 because of the lens, first lens. And if this lens is present, so now this image will become a virtual object for this second lens, and this ray will bend away from the normal and will form image at a point on the principal axis, that is I. So here the object distance is u from first pole, and from this first pole the image formed is v1 by this first lens, and the image formed by the second lens is v, and the virtual object for this second lens is v1. So here on applying lens formula, that is thin lens formula, we know that for first lens, thin lens formula is, this is first and this is second lens, and the ray is get refracted after refraction, and this is object O. Then we know that 1 upon V, here V is V1 minus 1 by U equal to focal length of first lens is f1 and focal length of second lens is f2. So it will give 1 upon f1. Give it equation number 1. Now for second lens, thin lens formula is 1 upon V minus the object is V1 equal to 1 upon F2. Now add equation number 1 and 2, we get, add equation number 1 and 2, we get 1 upon V minus 1 by U equal to 1 upon F1 plus 1 upon F2. We know 1 upon V minus 1 upon U is equal to 1 by F, and this F is called effective or equivalent focal length. This is the focal length for the two lenses. If there are more than two lenses, so we will add these focal length, that is, first write where F is effective or equivalent focal length, if more than two lenses are there, then 1 upon f is equal to sum of their focal lengths. Now here consider that between these two convex lenses, in the gap water is filled, that is any liquid is filled. So this part will behave like a like a concave lens. Then we have three lenses, that is first convex lens, the part in which liquid is filled will behave like a concave lens, and the second lens will become a third lens, that is a convex lens, having radius of curvature r1, r2 for first lens. Then for the second lens, radius of curvature is r2, r3, and for the third lens, r3 and r4. So the total or equivalent focal length is equal to 1 upon f equivalent to 1 upon f1 plus 1 upon f2 plus 1 upon f3. And where by using lens maker's formula, 1 upon f1 is equal to refractive index of this lens, that is glass, made of glass. So we write refractive index of glass with respect to air minus 1 and 1 upon r1 minus 1 upon r2. And 1 upon f2 is equal to refractive index of a liquid with respect to air minus 1. Radii of curvature is r2 and r3. Also 1 upon f3 is equal to again refractive index of glass minus 1, 1 upon r3 minus 1 upon r4. Also note that for convex lens, R1 radius of curvature is positive and R2 is negative. For concave lens, R1 is negative and R2 is positive. Therefore, on applying here in lens formula, we get focal length for convex lens as positive, because here if we are taking lens in air medium, so we are calculating refractive index of lens with respect to air. So uh, its refractive index will be more. Here also R1 is more, so focal length is positive. So focal length is positive for convex lens and focal length is negative for concave lens. Also R1 is positive and R2 is negative for convex lens. Thus F1 is positive, or we can write focal length is positive for convex lens if lens is in air. Concave lens also we are writing that, note second, R1 is negative and R2 is positive for concave lens. Therefore focal length is negative if lens is present in air. Also write what is the power of an equivalent lens. As we know, it is the reciprocal of the focal length. So power is given as P is equivalent to the algebraic sum of all the powers of the lenses, and it is equal to 1 upon f, as we know, as 1 upon f is equivalent to 1 upon f1 plus 1 upon f2. Therefore power is equivalent to the algebraic sum. If we are taking here concave lens, so power of concave lens is negative and power of convex lens is positive. We know that power is the bending ability of light. Shorter the focal length, more will be its power. So more the light will converge or diverge. If the focal length is less, that is, let us suppose here if we are taking a convex lens, and if after refraction the light has the image formed at this part, so its focal length is this f. And now if the lens is this way and the image formed is this, so here the focal length is more as compared to this, so the power of this lens is less, so we can write as f1 is less than f2, therefore power of first lens is more than power of second lens, as here we can see that it converges more. Now note some important points related to lenses, that is, first is the power or the focal length of a lens depends on wavelength, that is, point number 1 is focal length and power. Focal length of a lens and power of a lens depends on wavelength. As we know by lens maker's formula that as 1 by f is equal to the refractive index of a lens minus 1 into 1 upon r1 minus 1 upon r2. Here as radius of curvature of the lens is constant, so here we can write that the focal length is directly proportional to the refractive index, directly proportional to 1 upon refractive index. And by using Cauchy's formula is given as refractive index is directly proportional to the wavelength 1 upon lambda square. So here we can write that lambda square is directly proportional to 1 by n. By this we can write that f is directly proportional to by this relation. So here we can see that the focal length is directly proportional to the square of its wavelength. It means that as we know that red color light has more wavelength, therefore its focal length will be more. And as therefore focal length of a lens of red color is more, also focal length and power relation is power is equal to 1 upon f. Therefore we can see that 1 by f, so power is equal to 1 upon lambda square. So power of red color is less. Power of a red color lens is less. This is point number 1. Similarly, lens depends on the aperture. Aperture of a lens, that is intensity or the brightness of a lens is directly proportional to the square of its aperture. Let's understand it with the help of an example. That is, if there is a lens and if we will paint this lens by some dark color, so the light will not able to refract from it, and thus we can see that when the light passes through it there will be no effect on its size, but its brightness will decrease. The image will remain unaffected, but brightness is reduced to half. Third point is, if we will cut the lens horizontally in equal parts, let us suppose a convex lens, we will cut it in equal parts, in two equal parts, then also its brightness is reduced to half. As we know, intensity or brightness reduced to half. But here, what about its focal length and power? For half part, the focal length will remain as it is, as for the full length, and so the power is also remain as it is for both the half parts. And when we will add it, that is if we will make them in contact, then what will happen? Here this is first part and this is the second part, then their power will get added up, 2p, algebraic sum, as the lenses are same, so here it is 2p, and the focal length is equal to f by 2. Now if we will cut the lens vertically, this is the first part and this is the second part of the lens. Then the focal length will be twice of the single lens and power will reduce to half, p by 2, and it is also p by 2. The next point is, note that if the refractive index of a medium is less than the refractive index of a air, or the refractive index in which the lens is placed, then as we know by lens maker's formula, n2 by n1 minus 1. So here if n2 is less and n1 will be more, so this term will become negative, and thus the nature of the lens will change. I have discussed it in earlier videos also, that is, if the lens is dipped in a liquid having greater refractive index than that of the lens, then the lens will change its behavior. So here the lens changes its behavior, that is, the convex lens will behave like a concave lens and a concave lens will behave like a convex lens. This we have discussed in detail. If n2 is equivalent to n1, so the lens will not be visible. And the next part is the minimum distance between real object and real image. That is, obviously we are talking about a convex lens. Real object and real image is 4f, that is, if focal length of a lens is f. And the next point is, we can prove it also, that the power of a lens decreases by 4 times, or power of lens is 1 upon 4 times that of the power of a lens in air times in water. 1 upon 4 times in water then that of the power of lens in air, as focal length of a lens in water is 4 times than the focal length of a lens present in air. We can prove this also with the help of one numerical, that is, if the focal length of a convex lens if focal length of convex lens in air is given, that is 10 centimeter, so find focal length of a lens in water. Given that refractive index of a glass with respect to air is 3 by 2 and refractive index of water with respect to air is 4 by 3. So here we will use lens maker's formula, that is, as we know, 1 upon focal length of a lens in air is equal to refractive index of a lens with respect to air minus 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon R2. Similarly, the second equation will be focal length of a lens in water 1 upon F water equal to refractive index of water with respect to air minus 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon R2. Give it equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. Divide this equation 1 by 2, we get focal length of water upon focal length of a lens in air, focal length of a lens in water. So here it is equal to Ng minus 1 upon Nw minus 1. Refractive index of glass is 3 by 2 minus 1 and refractive index of water given is 4 by 3 minus 1, and if we wish to calculate the focal length of a lens in water, it is equal to focal length in air. So when we will solve it, we get 4 into focal length of a air.